Hello and welcome everyone to the CBA Champions League Week 5 Day 2, and we have our first match of the evening being CBA versus Orthrus Gaming. Things have changed a bit, but my name is Kachka and I will be bringing you this game with Karim.
Of course, once again, we are seeing another game outside of the one that was supposed to be played. We were supposed to be watching Bittersweet Gaming duel it out against Royal Reapers. Unfortunately, or not unfortunately, instead, we're going to be watching CBA play against Orthrus Gaming. Still a very interesting matchup because Orthrus Gaming, they're the newcomers to this league. They haven't, however, managed to show us kind of anything just yet. They have won against Bittersweet Gaming, but that is the bottom team in the lead right now. And so we're still looking at them to essentially have a first showing match of the split.
Pretty much. I think you can put it that way. And against CBA, there will be a lot to prove because that team, they are currently standing near the top. I believe they are second to Black Rose Gaming, and they are on a 5-1. I think 5-1 scoreline. Maybe they have some.
6-1.
Okay,
yeah,
6-1.
Yeah.
So they are doing very, very well, and they just need to keep it going. They need to rack up some wins if they want to finish at the top, and we are jumping into those picks and bans.
All right. So already we're seeing the comfort picks taken away from both sides. I mean, if you essentially are playing against a person who's named Rengar, you know, have to take that one off the board because leaving open a one trick for the other team is a dangerous prospect no matter how good that player actually is. And on the other side, Vayne, you know, once again, Vayne gods. It's kind of implied in the name, but regardless, that doesn't have just Vayne to be playing around. And another thing that we have to point out is that CBA are actually playing without Paulson in the mid lane, and so it's going to be changing up the entire dynamic of CBA and how they actually want to play the game, as Paulson is more of a mage-oriented player, and Kingen has a very similar pool to Galinia's, aggressive, something like an Irelia, Aatrox, and a Jace.
Vladimir is still being banned away despite Paulson not playing, still respecting that. I wonder if Irelia will be banned because, fun fact, every single game that was streamed for CBA that I could find, Irelia was banned against them.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure why, because we didn't see the Irelia, but it's an interesting thought to entertain. On the other side, Lux and Karma both being removed, both being very annoying supports, as I'm going to put it, and Jarvan will be the last ban.
It's pretty interesting that it is CBA taking them off the board, however, as they are sitting on the blue side, meaning that they do have the ability to get themselves the first pick. They're not actually forced to be banning away these big meta picks, but it does mean that they want to be prioritizing some other pick likely elsewhere. Now, Poppy being hovered, not precisely the most aggressive option that you would be opting for, and instead it's going to be Irelia, and as I said, you have a very strong flex potential between Galinia as well as Kingen. These guys can swap around whatever they want on a whim, and Irelia right now is a pretty powerful flex pick as it was left open.
It was, however, Mordekaiser was also left open. I believe Suvlaki does play it a bit, or I mean, it's just a strong pick as long as you can lock it in.
Yeah, anyone can play it. It's not like it's a difficult champion to pull off. God damn it, do I hate it. But it's fun to watch as it can find those early game leads as well as try and push them into mid game where he inevitably falls off late game as people get their QSSs, but still a very, very strong meta champion that we don't see too terrifyingly often. Sejuani picked up, likely going into the hands of Rengar. However, before the match actually started, we had a conversation with our fellow casters, and we were talking about Sejuani possibly going mid lane, as I do believe that Fiat was practicing it, or was that something else?
No, that was someone else.
God damn it.
And it was most likely a joke. I'm just going to put it out.
Sejuani mid is real.
I'm
telling you.
I have to see it first. I'm just not going to believe you. However, Silas, Kaiser, both fairly strong picks for CBA. Kaiser, of course, one of Vayne God's champions, and Silas. When you've got Mordekaiser and Sejuani, just those two ultimates pretty much make it worth it. Ooh, Kiana. Alright,
I like the look of this so far. So, Kiana is a champion that has been added to League of Legends just recently, and I think this is the first week that she's actually allowed for the teams to be picking. And Orthrus Gaming, they're saying, alright, you know, we gotta show the guys something. We gotta show the viewers that we're a good team. We gotta gain some fans. You know, we're new to this league. And they pick a highly explosive champ. Pairing him up with something like a Sejuani means that there are opportunities for Kiana to be just snowballing out of control. And I'll be honest, I haven't seen too much of her, but what I have seen is that if you manage to give this assassin a couple of kills, she just snowballs out of control, and there is nothing that you can do to stop her if you're squishy.
Conversely, though, if you shut her down, there is nothing that Kiana can do to get back in the game. Those AoE stuns around the wall, especially the Baron fights, are going to be huge in late game no matter what. But you are still an assassin. You are still relying on being ahead and being able to burst down a single target, and that will be a lot of pressure onto whoever ends up picking it. I would assume it will be going into the mid lane, though.
Yeah, and outside, when we look at the other bans, I really like the focus that Orthrus Gaming decided to go for, banning out Thresh and Pyke, most likely suggesting that they want to be going with a hyper carry in that position of Fair. Last time that we did see this guy, he was playing a Sona into a Taric and Sona combo, so likely wants to show some moves. The most played champion on his account is Ezreal. Are we going to be getting a repeat, though?
I mean, it is likely, to be honest. With this composition, if you can get Sona Taric, it will have you. It will get you that safe scaling, and also removing two aggressive champs that Gyazo plays in Thresh and Pyke means that the other ones down his tier list, at least from what I could see, would be something like a Bromwich, or Yumi.
Oh yeah,
that's also a champion.
It is a champion. I think kind of a half a champion when you think about it. When she's inside of other people, like, half the time, half the game. But regardless, she's going to be going into the bot lane, and it means that there are no real ways that, at least from the champion pool of support, that you can try and shut this Sona down. And assuming that it's going to be Taric paired up with her, it does open the bot lane of Orthrus Gaming to just not get shut out of the game completely in the first couple of minutes, as it happened against Bittersweet Gaming. They got ganked level 2 twice, and then SQ1 once again returned and ganked them again, so it was a very unfortunate situation, but this time it looks like they might have a bit more of a window to try and attack.
Alright, and now what is the last pick? It's gonna be the Taric. We got the Sona Taric. No one saw that coming.
They went in order. Just realized that.
They did.
Whew. Wow, that's a flex move. Not really, because they're not flexing. that was a bad joke, I'm sorry.
It definitely was. Moving on.
Yes. Moving on. You wanted to move away from my bad joke. I didn't. I stand by.
Did you want to elaborate? All right. Well.
No, I didn't. Okay, yeah. Let's. God damn it.
We are losing our sanity here.
Is there any left though?
No.
Oh.
But we're still losing it.
Okay, let's move back to the actual League of Legends gameplay that we are watching right now. As the timer ticks down, Aurelia is going to be the one moving into that mid lane, as Aatrox got locked in as the last pick for CBA, so we are going to be seeing King Anon. I believe a little bit of a signature pick, as whenever I recall or try and cast my mind back to CBA from last split, if he played, it was Aurelia. So, going to be playing into Kiana. I'm going to be very curious to see how that kind of pairing actually works out, if it's going to be Kiana trying to get ahead. I think that if there is anything that Kiat can try to do, it's going to be with Sejuani, so Rengar kind of is going to have to try and strain himself to get this assassin very much ahead.
And this is where you already see King going for the cleanse, the safer option, since, as you said, you don't want to get ganked, and that Sejuani can spell a lot of trouble for your team. Alternatively, I could also see the side of Orthrus Gaming. Try and play through the top side. You've got a Mordekaiser, and Aatrox into Mordekaiser is going to be an explosive matchup. Whoever gets ahead early will have that snowball factor on their side.
And it's incredibly important that Aatrox actually gets ahead in this composition. I'm sorry, in this pairing, because as soon as Mordekaiser hits level 6, Aatrox needs to be able to 1v1 him, because Mordekaiser is going to force you into that, what's it called, death realm, I think. And if you're not going to be able to withstand the barrage that he brings, especially after he finishes his Rylai's, that is going to be a terrifying prospect that you're going to be facing. So Galina either needs help from Unknown Swede, who isn't playing a champion that is precisely known for setting up these plays, but at least we're going to be having one interesting thing to look at in the jungle and top lane synergy, and it's Sylas stealing Mordekaiser's ultimate.
Double Mordekaiser ultimates in the team fights. Bring them on, eh? Make it all confusing.
Mordekaiser had a spaghetti code before he was reworked, but with Sylas in the game, I'm afraid, man. I think it might just crash the entire game. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you see, of course, on your screens right now, type in number 1 or 2 if you want to cast your votes for who is going to be winning this game, just from your own predictions. Actually, CBA right now leading by, I don't want to do maths on stream, but
by
33.4%.
Yes,
That's
you are correct.
Right? I'm so good at this.
Quick maths. Right,
No.
well, moving on. We've got the last matchup to discuss, and I mean, it's Sona Tarek. Usually don't want to really talk too much about it, but I actually want to bring up this one point. Usually, you gotta play really, really aggressive into Sona Tarek. Kaiser Yuumi isn't necessarily the highest kill threat bot lane, however, we saw Vanguard overtake games very quickly, and it will pretty much all come down to this bot lane of CBA, at least in terms of the bot lane matchup, to try and play aggressively and stretch themselves to find those leads.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. If it's going to be any leads found in the bot lane, it's likely going to be Vanguard trying to outplay the bot lane of Orthrus Gaming. Outside of that, I don't see any other avenues that CBA can try and pick up any extra gold in that bot lane, as it's likely just going to be a farm fest, perhaps with Unknown Swede moving into the bot lane, but it's still going to be pretty difficult to try and shut this Sona Tarek down, even before the level 6s are hit, given that Silas doesn't really have a reliable way of traversing the jungle quickly to try and close the gap in between himself and the opposing bot lane, and he doesn't even have a lot of hard crowd control to speak of when he enters that lane, as Kai'Sa doesn't have any. Yuumi has just that poor slow, so it's going to be interesting to see how that matchup develops. And I'm going to be interested to see Unknown Swede's pathing, because every single lane can be swayed the other way around that we would be expecting it to, just because of how much of a snowball this Silas offers and how much of a snowball his own lanes offer as well.
Alright, and we will be slowly but surely working our way into the match. Also, something to notice is Yuumi, she's usually known for poking. Well, you're not going to be poking effectively against Sona Tarek.
Yeah.
They will sustain everything you throw at them. So if we are ever going to see Vanguard actually get some leads in the bot lane, it will have to come through the place. It won't come through the war of attrition, since it is, quite frankly, impossible.
And it's going to be also very difficult because those leads are going to be have to be found before level 6, because as soon as, of course, Sona gets access to the ultimate, she just freezes this Kai'Sa in place together with the Yuumi. Tarek just ults, and well, there isn't anything that you can do to them anymore, so I still think that it is going to be a very, very farm-heavy lane, and as a result, we can focus on other lanes, most namely this mid lane. That is going to be incredibly interesting. Kingen and Kiatz, kind of a newcomer of a mid laner for the side of Orthrus Gaming, really looking to stamp his foot in that lane and show the opposing mid laner that he is just as dominant, just as aggressive, because he needs to have a pop-off performance.
Definitely does, as we are going to go into the Summoner's Rift for the match between CBA and OGM. Both these teams grouping around the mid lane. I personally don't expect any early game action to be happening, since, you know, you don't really have the tools and there's nothing for you to fight for.
Yeah, so actually CBA, they were grouping up. It looked like they were going for an invade. However, in the end, Orthrus Gaming did manage to spot them out, and then a very early ward, in fact, comes in the actually CBA's lower quadrant of the jungle, likely just trying to spot Unknown Swede, as he is likely to be starting on his bot side. It's not, however, completely forbidden to him to be starting on his blue, as even with Aatrox, he has a relatively healthy wave clear.
It does look like he will be making his way down towards the bot side. Something else that I'm interested to see in how it will develop throughout the game is that Irelia in mid lane, since it's I believe the first time that CBA are actually getting too quiet. It might not be Paulson in the mid lane, but it is still the CBA Irelia, and we'll see if it will be CBA Irelia Poke or CBA Irelia low.
Alright, so I want to talk about this Kiana for a bit, because she's of course a new champion and people don't really know what she does. So what she offers is some poke through her spells. She can also get some auto attack resets by dashing into the wall, and so there is some potential for her to actually find good amounts of poke, especially when playing into a melee champion, and you see that right here. Kingen is already sitting on almost half HP. And so, if this lead keeps on being developed by Kiat, there might be a potential route to snowball, but well, not looking too likely, at least as of now.
Yeah, the lane's going quite slowly at the beginning. You do actually see Vanguard and Gyasu hitting the level 2 first and trying to bully that Sonataric lane out, which is always nice to see. The games where you see Sonataric farming freely are usually the games that don't end too well for people who are against that combo.
And just so you guys know why this matchup is going the way of CBA in the bot lane, it's because Yuumi has more HP than Sona. So, okay, never mind.
Okay, well, looks like a gank in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Kiak is going to be the target. Unknown Sweet gets the Epsilon, gets the Abduct, and picks up the first blood.
A very unfortunate start for Orthrus Gaming. Of course, Kiak was playing without a ward. Unknown Sweet manages to utilize the lack of vision there and gets himself a very, very quick kill. Does manage to pick it up himself, so not giving it over to Kingen. And as I said, Silas, when he starts snowballing, it becomes a terrifying game for you to play. So already, CBA are off to a great start.
And this is kind of what you would be expecting from the teams that are now more towards the tops of the standings. That's what is happening around the week 5. We start seeing this separation between those teams as Rengar is jumped on into the jungle. Kingen is still on the chase, looking for that one last blade surge. No flash on that CB1 and the Defiant Dance does finish him off now in the top lane. So Lucky they're looking for the kill of Galina, who flashes in under the tower, and he will stay alive.
And as Suvlaki Eater is that dominant man in that top lane, even in his performance against Bittersweet Gaming, he was the guy that found those leads, that found those kills already. He's trying to do so hard, but 1,000 gold is the deficit that they're now going to be facing as Kiaz gets jumped on once again. And Unsweet maybe going for more there, looking like he's just gonna let him go.
Good dash over the wall to avoid the stun, and Kiak is going to be fine for the time being, which I guess is harder to say about the whole team of Orthrus right now, as there is a lot of trading happening down in the middle. Kingen has got the double buffs. You cannot underestimate his damage, and you always have to watch it now. Unknown Sweet also looking to make the place in the ball lane. This is actually a very, very action-packed early game as compared to what we normally see.
Yeah, already we kind of expected this bot lane to be the only real, what's it called, stale lane, I think we can say, and all other parts of the map are just exploding right now. So Lucky Eater getting a good grasp on, not able to find too much more. However, I want to see how actually CBA are going to be able to find these leads and utilize them further, because now Unknown Sweet, he's already finished the enchant, he's building into the runic echoes, and as soon as he reaches that, his wave clear is going to be almost unparalleled in that jungle, and he's also going to be having so much damage in this early game.
Yeah, even with those 2 ganks on his name, he's still even in CS, which is very impressive.
Oh yeah.
Suvlaki was roaming down, he does spot Unknown Sweet taking that blue buff, but what you said, the junglers are so instrumental in this game, and so far it's Unknown Sweet doing the work as Vanguard actually. It's a big chunk of damage as the does look connected from Fury.
However, what we see right now is actually CBA just trying to shove in wave after wave after wave, and while it may look like I know some certain commentator may say that it's not bad, it's bad that they're freezing. Okay, I'm gonna shut up because now Unknown Sweet top lane.
Yeah, Suvlaki Eater is going to get ganked. Unknown Sweet, 3rd gank of the game, gets himself the 2nd kill.
It's just unfortunate if you're Orthrus Gaming. Unknown Sweet has already managed to blow this game wildly apart. 100% kill participation right now on every single kill. Now, Rengar is in that top lane. Can he really try and do something? He doesn't have access to his ultimate just yet, so likely just gonna try and pick up the remnant of the CS.
He's trying to make sure only 1 plate will go down, and at least he's successful in doing just that, but the game is slowly slipping away from Orthrus Gaming, and you identified it is Unknown Sweet making the big plays. He also now hijacked the Glacial Prison, so watch out for the next gank. It is going to be lethal.
Yeah, that's going to be definitely lethal. Kia trying to trade on to Kingen here. Kingen has picked up the Corrupting Pot, so no big matter there. However, Kiaz hasn't been finding too many leads. He is in the lead in case of CS, however, and so I am now looking for Orthrus Gaming to be trying to find those leads here. Just still try and snowball Kiaz, because if you manage to do that, you can still win this game. The first game that we saw of Orthrus Gaming of the split, they still had Tarek and Sona, but their other lanes won the game. And so, they kind of have to do the same thing today if they want to have any chance at grouping together and being able to 5v5 CBA. Yes, you were drinking milk.
Yes, no, I mean, I do just agree with what you are saying, and the problem is we aren't seeing any big plays being made right now. There's just 7 minutes. However, as I'm saying it, Unknown Sweet could be killed out in the jungle potentially, but who's catching out who? The Vanguard's Edge is going to get flashed away from by Fury. Here is the Glacial Prison connecting onto Kiak. He's looking for the shutdown and does find it onto Unknown Sweet as he falls down. CBA might have overextended in the jungle. The Glacial Prison from Rengar goes wide. Vanguard able to sidestep the King and his low on mana. Rengar in the front like he's down to 300 HP. That is a double ult. Kiak on the backline. He's looking to get a dash to everyone. The cleanse, pulled up from King, he gets the stun, Vanguard falls to fair, and that is going to be Orthrus Gaming with the 2 kills, but we are not done yet. In the top lane, Souvlaki and Galina are dueling it out 2 versus 2, the blades connect, and Galina picks up a solo kill.
As we speak of Orthrus Gaming having their game slipped out of their control, they just turn it around, they pick themselves up 2 quick kills, one of them going to Kiaz, the other one going on to the Sona, so they're definitely not out of the running of the competition just yet, but the problem is they are just losing the control over the top lane, and furthermore, they're going to be losing control over the side lane, as now Mordekaiser is always going to struggle to try and 1v1 this Aatrox, and Galina, he has achieved the win condition that he needed, which was to just be stronger than this Mordekaiser.
And 1-0-1, the snowball is now on to him, especially that he had completed that Dust Blade of Drakthar. His flanking and his burst is going to be huge. It will not matter if Galina gets ahead, and this is where the game gets interesting. We've got the cards set out on the table properly for both teams, not only CBA, and we're gonna see how they decide to play around them, and crucially, what I'm now looking at is both of those junglers. Rengar, he needs to make more plays. That was pretty decent in the jungle, but he still didn't really make any ganks.
Yeah, and one thing that I saw, that I noticed that I didn't really want to bring up at the time, but during that big team fight, Rengar actually used his Glacial Prison to throw it after Fair. So he, I guess, got confused because he didn't expect his teammate to be coming from that direction. So just a little bit of a misplay, as you rightfully said. He hasn't really found too many leads with the level 6 that he has managed to already get. However, now we kind of have to be also looking at other lanes and what Orthrus Gaming actually want to be doing. So while CBA may be going for plays...
no, sweet double crescendo first already down. That was a juicy play from the jungle of CBA.
Well, that's not what they want to be doing. I was gonna continue with my point, but keeping on dying to CBA is definitely not one of those conditions that you want to be filling up. Now, CBA, they've opened up the map a whole lot once again with Unknown Sweet's gang. His performance this game has been unparalleled, and now they're just sitting on the Drake, taking it away.
And I actually didn't see what kind of dragon is it. It is the Infernal, so bonus damage for, well, pretty much everyone. One-stun bonus starts as King and could find himself ganked in the mid lane. Rengar whips the Glacial Prison. Unlucky here, and here comes the return from King, and he already threw down the Vanguard's Edge. Kiak is already very, very low. King has to flash away. That's a dash for Kiak. He wants to get a kill, but he isn't getting it just yet. He will be out though, but King doesn't die. No one dies in the mid lane, and that was a very interesting gank in the end.
Kiak, he didn't have the Ignite just up, and well, it resulted in King being able to make his getaway. What the hell? What the what?
Alright.
That was murder, Rengar. Okay,
alright,
well, more kills.
Moving on, Galina, he popped the World Ender. He's trying to get the Blights and picks up the shutdown onto Kiak, and now he's looking for the double kill in onto Rengar. Finds the knockup, finds the auto, finds the double, and he's looking for the triple as well, and he does find it. That's a 4-0 Aatrox for Galina.
Oh, Galina is just taking away the lunch money of all of these kids on Orthrus Gaming. 4-0 on his Aatrox. He just picks up so much gold from that. It didn't matter that Kiak managed to find the kill in the end because Galina was on the perfect flank, the perfect shrine. Mordekaiser had just recently roamed to mid lane. Well, perhaps he should have had roamed back to his base because he just gave Galina the triple kill.
And that man is now absolutely huge. I have no idea what Orthrus are going to do against him. You can see Souvlaki, he has to adapt his build to an extent where he's now effectively a tank that has fallen behind in lane.
Essentially, his role as a Mordekaiser now will turn into isolate a single strong champion from CBA and keep him there just away from the team fight while the rest of your team collapses on top of them. But for that to really be successful, he needs to have a strong rest of his team, and Fury, they're trying to find just that.
King, he still has got the cleanse, however he decides not to use it until now. He breaks open from the permafrost, but he might still die, and Rengar, he just picks up the kill with the auto attack, but that is a lot of CC available for Orthrus gaming.
Yeah, you don't often see Sejuani picking up kills from auto attacks, but it's good that right now Rengar is picking them up in this crucial moment. Of course, it was King just overextending in the side lane, gets caught out. Kiat now is still pretty strong in his Kiana. He has Ignite.
Yeah, and he does have so much damage. That is a shutdown, 700 gold for the Kiana, and I didn't expect that damage to come through.
Hey, okay, he has Duskblade and the Serrated Dirk. This guy does a lot of damage now. Yumi has been ulted. This is depressing to look at.
Yeah, Yasuo does throw down the ultimate. He exhausts here as well. He has the heal. He does survive through the realm of death. And, I mean, this is what happens when you can't build AP on Mordekaiser.
Yeah, he just wasn't able to get in range even. Now, One Sweet is in the mid lane. But care for Kiaj! Oh my god!
He just picks up the solo kill, he doesn't even care. He picks up the Kiana, he shows us why it is a good champion, and now Rengar is trying to make something happen up in top lane. That is only a level 7 Vanguard. Permafrost keeps him in place, a teleport is going to be challenged by Gildina. That Aatrox is going to be coming through. Rengar can't keep up the kill. Yes, he does fall through to Vanguard. In the end, it is a 1-for-1 in the top lane.
God, this is turning into a little bit of a fiesta, but not just
doesn't matter,
yet.
We keep going. It's 9-7, 13 minutes, 14 minutes. We have 16 kills. That's a mild fiesta.
A mild one.
Yes.
Hey, the first turret still did fall before the platings were down, and that means that it's Galicia able to take away so much gold. I mean, at this point, however, we kind of have to keep on talking about Kiaj, because even as Kingen approaches the mid lane, he has 2 levels of an advantage on top of him. He has finished his Duskblade, he's going to be likely building into a Ghostblade, is what I would be assuming, and this is the guy that you have to look at in every single team fight, in every single skirmish. If he doesn't find those picks, Orthrus Gaming, they're doomed. But so far, he's showed us that, well, Kiana has kind of broken scalings apparently, because the amount of damage that he's able to output is just insane.
Well, can he do a 1 versus 3? Answer me that question. He is definitely trying, but the short answer is no.
He can't. And the big difference between Kiana and other assassins is that she has a lot of damage, but she doesn't really have too many ways to get out. She's effectively got 1 dash, and that's it. Nothing like an Akali. No, nothing like a Sylas even. And now, Riftshot popped in the mid lane as Kiaj goes down, and it doesn't matter that he's fed as all hell, because, well, CBA, they're just finding more leads.
That is going to be the question. On to Vanguard, he's kept in place with the Dazzle. That's only 200 HP. Only Kai'Sa, he's still making it out though. No Sweet now down to the Permafrost is forced to flash away. King and in the front line looking to do some work, and CBA members will be able to escape in the end.
So, CBA, they do manage to escape, and it looked like it was bad for them. However, OG, they don't actually manage to convert that victory into any objectives just yet. The mid lane turret is still standing for them to take, and they have effectively forced CBA away from that mid lane. However, not for long, as the rest of the members regroup, and they move into that lane now. OG, they have to take this dragon down quickly, even though it doesn't look like CBA are going to be doing much of a contest for it. Kyle Drake, not the worst options to lose.
It is secure. Orthrus Gaming will be able to roam around faster as now Kiaki throws out the edge of X-Throw, but doesn't find anyone.
Yeah.
And this Kiana, I mean, it's the first time I do see it in a 5v5 setting, or I see it instead of playing against it. And it does seem like you are so reliant on finding the right flank and finding the right entrance. And if you don't, you're absolutely screwed. But if you do, you're going to delete everyone.
Yeah, so far what I've noticed is that he really relies on trading, unlike
how about can you
Sejuani.
delete that Aatrox Fury with the Ignite? Sorry, probably an auto attack finishes him off. Oh my goodness, Yasuo nearly loses his life as Kiak jumps forward relentlessly. And, you know, that's the guy you have to watch, and we are saying it for like 100th time.
And you said that you need the perfect flank on Kiana. Well, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kia just found the flank, found the Aatrox, absolutely slaughtered him, sent him to the Death Realm, even though she isn't a Mordekaiser, and well, managed to run away with it. Now, 10-8 is the kill score right now. Actually, CB are still in a gold lead. However, it's not too vast. It's just about 1,000 for them. So the gold lead is still shrinking, and this Sona and Tarek, they're still going to be scaling like all hell. And right now, Rengar is getting caught out here for a bit, not going to turn
He's
into anything more.
dash present onto Vanguard. He's blown to pieces. Kiak picking up the first kill. He's trying to dash over the wall. He blows up Animal Sweet for the double kill.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look at what the hell Kiana's scalings are, because that was absolutely disgusting. Doesn't matter, however, as OG, they're very cleanly moving into to take that mid lane turret. Could possibly be trying to perform more, or instead set up vision in the jungle quadrants. Looks like they will be opting for the objectives or kills.
And they're going in onto kill Lina King and throws down the Vanguard's edge, but I never thought I was saying it. OG, they just seem to be too damn strong. King picks up the first kill in Nintendo, and did OG pick up more than they can chew? That is a double. King and picking up the triple, and CBA are turning it around. Yuri trying to pick up the Black Skull. He won't be able to dash over the wall. King looking for that quadra kill third, running away, flash forward, gets the stun, picks up the rampage, and how are they even turning it around at this point? The Dazzle from Fury doesn't stop Galina. He will be still on that chase, looking for the Dark Blaze, finds the knockup, finds the second one, and the ace for CBA.
Do you want to know what a very broken status effect is in League of Legends? Healing reduction. Do you see it on anyone on the side of OG? No, you don't. Galina was able to survive throughout that tower dive just by continuously healing up and up and up again. They were unable to find anything, all the while Sivlaki was just tanking turret hit after turret hit. And OG, it was a very, very botched dive that they didn't have to go for, but they give away the ace.
That's a yikes if you ask me, as we are now going into a pause, and we talked about how that lead that CBA have built, OG could maybe be looking to overthrow it. Nah, it is gone. That was such a good play from King and Galina, and I mean Gyazzo pressing his E, you know, I mean, he did do it well. He did do it well. I'm gonna give him that, and they find the ace, they get the vision around the ban. They won't be going for it, since they do need to reset, but that game just gets so much more interesting.
Yeah, it does get blown wide open once again. However, we have already seen OG come back from a deficit that Unknown Swede managed to create in the early game. Now they have put themselves into an artificial one themselves. They have given up the ace, they've given up so much gold, they've given up all the pressure that they could be able to generate in the jungle. However, the big silver lining for them right now is that Baron hasn't actually spawned yet, and as a result, all of the vision that CBA went for to achieve in the topside quadrant of the topside half of the map isn't going to be as useful as it would be past the Baron spawn. So right now, it doesn't really feel that bad for OG. The only really terrible aspect of that lost teamfight is that they just gave up so much gold, once again, to Galina, and also now to Vanguard and King.
And you already have the Triforce sitting on Irelia. It's only gonna get worse. Vanguard is also scaling. Talking about scaling, who actually outscales? Because I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, see, this is actually the interesting part, because it all depends on where are the assassins going to be in those team fights. OG kind of have a more straightforward way to go about the team fight. They have a Sejuani, they have a hard engage. Alright, they can do that, you know, just get the Glacial Prison down, have Sejuani jump in, pile on top of her, follow it up with the Sona, then throw in a Taric, have Kiak on a flank, and then you can win a team fight very, very easily. On the other side, you have CBA, who don't really have too much of a hard engage, and so they are a bit more reliant on trying to kind of psych the other side out, trying to play through 1-3-1. You have this Aurelia, you have this Aatrox, you have very powerful side lanes that you can play through, and they are mostly going to be forcing the other side to go for a bad play, try to expand Suvlaki's TP, and just go for picks. So even though they have this Vanguard who is a late game guarantee, in a pure 5v5 standing, I think that it's OG's game to take.
Well, that is going to be interesting, as I believe both teams have reported being ready, so we should be getting into the game anytime soon. Of course, the chat works very weirdly in the spectator delay. We are kind of, you know, they're technically saying ready, but it was like, oh, alright, hey, we're in live, hell yes.
The Yumi back is actually pretty cute, I have to say, on the skin, the principal one. Did you see it? Or
I wasn't really paying attention.
She actually jumps on top of her desk, and then she just sits there, like a cat, because, you know, she's a cat.
Yeah,
you didn't know that, right?
No, I didn't.
Right, okay, so
I'm a washed up caster.
Yeah, League of Legends, it's a wonderful game. So, as I said, OG, they're not precisely suffering any wards. What's it called? Lacking? Ward
Deficit.
Lack of
no.
wards? Yes, ward
Yes.
deficit. That's the word.
Ward deficiencies.
Ward deficiency. The vitamin deficiency and the ward deficiency in League of Legends. They're both deadly. Kids, remember that. Now, Kiak is looking for a kill. I think that he still can kill Galina, but he doesn't have any healing reduction, so it's going to be still a bit more difficult as he's now getting collapsed.
Oh, Unknown Sweet doesn't quite get the chase. Kiak throwing down his ultimate, dashes over the wall. He's stuck in a 1 versus 4. Vanguard jumps through and Galina is gonna get the kill. And, you know, Kiana can do many things. We saw it. One thing that Kiak cannot do, and we also saw it twice, is to do 1v4.
Yeah, it's like if you have a really good rogue in a D&D session and you just toss him against an unkillable orc. That's exactly what happened there. However, now CBA looking for him one more fight.
The final chapter connecting onto Fury. He is just stuck, but the constant radiance keeps him alive. The Bangor Judge is thrown down by King. Fury in the front line. He's now going to get cut down by Vanguard, who secures that kill, and it seems that CBA are content with the one pick they get, and they are turning towards that Nasher.
Kind of reminding me a bit of a stopwatch game here from OG. They are so good in the laning phase, and then they kind of start throwing it now. Rengar, he cannot fall to Galina here. He is the only way that OG has to try and steal this Baron away, so they're just duking it out, and he may fall here in the fact.
He has to use the Arctic Assault away. Galina now retreating. The Baron is on 4,000. Rengar can only use his Q to get into that pit. No blast cone, no flash over. The Baron is on 1,500. Rengar is behind the pit. Can he go in? No, he will not. The Baron is secured. However, Kiak is in the pit. He's got the double. Can he look for more? He picks up the shout-out. The ultimate is not available. He's looking for Unknown Sweet. That's Rengar over there. Vanguard's health just pops down, but he is still alive. Kiak going forward on the chase. Can he find the dashes? Can he get the damage? He's going forward, but he doesn't in the end. It is the ban for CBA, but a double for the mid laner of OG.
Actually, CBA, they come out somehow. They escape the grasp of Kiana somehow. Even though it looked dire, even though it looked like she was just going to run them down, well, she didn't, and she left them to live. And Souvlaki wasn't even in that fight. He didn't actually teleport into that Baron pit, and that could have swayed the fight completely. He didn't have any wards, however, to TP on, so instead he was pushing in the bot lane, taking away more objectives. So while CBA run away with the Baron buff, OG at least gets something for it.
Oh, I finally realized where all that Kiana damage is coming from.
Yes.
Her passive, do you know what it does? I don't think many people do. So basically, your first auto attack against a champion in
it does
some cooldown. Yeah. I think that's where all the damage is. And imagine it stacking with Duskblade.
Oh yeah, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, Duskblade. I hadn't even thought of that. And given that, well, she has quite a bit of AD, I'm not actually going to be looking at her just yet because my entire PC is lagging. But it's still going to be quite a lot. And we have already seen that Kiana is pretty efficient trying to run someone down. I think even more so than a Zed, but that's probably because people don't expect this damage just yet, because it's a relatively unknown champion. Speaking of her, Galina.
Galina throws down the world, and it is going to be timing out soon. Kiak for the time being just retreats, and the rest of CBA use this to take down that mid lane tower. The round 2 of the 1v1 in the bot lane. The ultimate has been thrown down. Galina's health is just disappearing. Kiak on the kill list. Now we got a fight in the mid lane. Unknown Sweet does pop out of that stopwatch. Rengar still on the front line, looking to continue the chase in onto Vanguard, who's kept in the stun. So Black Eater solo kills King in the top lane. That's a flash with from play. He's trying to stay alive. Unknown Sweet will take him down, but he will get knocked down by Rengar. Vanguard is stunned to death. Here comes Kiak, and that's an ace for OG.
Oh my god, the winners of the Spring Split are falling to the newcomers of OG right now. They managed to pick up the ace. They're going to be running it down mid lane, trying to find more objectives to take away into their home, and just a phenomenal team fight to be finding at this particular point in the game. After the Baron buff was taken by the enemy, they managed to once again just blow this game wide open. They're turning it on its head, and it's clear that they still are in the showing for who can take this one.
And you said that this will be pretty much OG's show of game. And they are proving to be the comeback kings. The one game they play against Bittersweet, sweet comeback. Now they are against CBA, one of the best teams we have in SQ1 right now, and they are looking to do the exact same thing. However, let's not get on the high horse just yet. There is still a lot of work to be done.
Definitely, and it's not one. There is still a long road that OG have to go through. However, they're still going to be having it relatively easy now. I'm gonna have to be
Galina flashes over that wall as Galina popped the world ender, and you need to respect that cooldown.
So I want to talk about the Qiyana Aatrox sideline for a bit, because so far what we've seen is always Qiyana just bursting this Galina down, and that is mostly because she almost always manages to find the stun through her ultimate, and if she doesn't, if she allows this Aatrox to heal, he can actually find some damage. He can find his way to heal through that 1v1, and he can still kill this Qiyana, but he doesn't allow him to. He's always just stood up and he just pops down way too fast because he doesn't have any armor. He's building Merc Threats, which means that he's trying to focus against this Sona, against this Mordekaiser, who by the way has been farming up for the past 15 minutes and is now sitting on Leandris. He didn't even finish that first armor item. And so, he's just a bit stranded in the side lane right now, this poor Galina.
Talking about farming. Look at Kiak CS. He is sitting on 213. That's now 4 items. You get double lethality, Black Cleaver, and Lord Dominic's Regard. That's absolutely disgusting.
I'm kind of expecting right now for Kiak to just build, what's it called? We played with it earlier today, Edge of Night. Just because you have the knockups, you have the stuns, if you manage to dodge away from them, there is no way that they can try and kill.
Alright, Kiak trying to go in. However, he's just locked by the CC, and Qiyana, you cannot escape. You said it earlier. That is a shutdown picked up by Bengal, and Rengar is going to get caught out by the hijacked Threshold Prison. He's standing tall in the front like he's a very tanky Sejuani. Flashes out, still caught by the stab. Rengar, he's just eating everything, but he finally falls with Bengal securing the kill. That is 2 for CBA, and they will be looking for the base.
That's a problem when out of 17 kills, 10 of them are on a single person. As soon as Kiat falls down, there's nothing that OG can do to try and win this team fight. Someone that doesn't have the damage just yet, and actually CBA, they're just pushing even onwards to the base.
They could be looking to finish the game, however, Suvlaki needs to be the big carry. Vanguard is on a killing spree. There is no more. Kiak still 8 seconds remaining. The next is still standing. Suvlaki picks up Galina. He's still alive. He gets the double. He slams in for the triple with the obliterate. Vanguard needs to get the hell out of here. And this game is one hell of a ride.
Ooh, this man who just got shut down by the Aatrox for so long manages to somehow be the savior of his team in what could have been the final moments. Kiat is still on the hunt. Vanguard, he may not have the move speed that he requires to be able to run away here.
Kiak dashing forward, looking for that kill. Will, however, just go back as the Baron is the objective that you are going to go for. If you are Orthrus Gaming, there's nothing stopping you right now. And Suvlaki either pulls off a big play in the base, and this game is such a big back and forth. I don't think I have seen a similar game in a long time.
And this is going to give me a heart attack. I feel like so much action in this game, and this is just the first game of tonight. We're also going to be having a second one, so that's going to be also very interesting to see. Of course, we're going to be having second casters, hopefully, on it, because man, so far this is such a drain on my energy because it's just been filled with it.
It's okay, we get a mountain dragon now. Unknown Swede is on the side. He's got the hijacked realm of death. He can choose to solo out anyone, and who has he ulted? I believe that it was Kiak who has been ulted. Kiana is not available for this fight. First flashing forward, he catches on to King, who immediately pops down that cleanse. Rengar going into the backline. Kiak is available to go in if he wants to. Rengar is still standing tall. Keep your eyes on that Qiyana. Kiak is the most important person. He kills Galina. So Black Hilde is now in the front line. Death's Grasp in onto Kingin, and he cannot run away. So Black is unstoppable. Unknown Sweet goes golden with that Zonias. But how long can you survive? Not at all after you go out. Kiak picks up the kill. That's a 3-4-0 in favor of Orthrus Gaming.
And what can actually CBA do here? They're facing now the 4-man unit of OG with Baron buff that is going to be empowering the minions that's come very, very shortly. Luckily for them, however, their enemies do not have a minion wave just yet, so they're going to be forced to just try and take apart the last remaining turrets. Sona gets blown away. It's just something that I wanted to point out. But man, Jesus Christ. Even though Qiyana got zoned out by the stolen Mordekaiser ultimate, actually CBA, they were scared and they got zoned out by Rengar. So great job from the SQ1 in there for keeping 3 members occupied, allowing this Qiyana to return from the Death Realm and then just wreak havoc.
And it's just, how do even CBA win this game? Because, you know, we are talking about the OG comeback, but right now it's turning into a possible CBA comeback.
Yeah, I mean...
Or at least, sorry, CBA comeback being
comeback.
a possibility, yeah.
Yeah, so... I'm trying to think, because so far from what we've seen, the only ways that this Qiyana actually went down was from Kiach overextending. If that isn't the case that Kiach is going to make, well, I think that the chances are pretty slim for actually CBA to try and win it, because of a few factors. Or, well, just one. They don't have a reliable way to shut her down. They don't have any hard CC that they can reliably plop down on her. Look at Yuumi. Does she have any crowd control? No. Kai'Sa? No. Well, Sylas, kind of, but it's difficult to get it down just because of the chains being so slow. Aatrox, he's never gonna hit that because Qiyana has so many dashes, and Irelia is the same story. So, Kiach, he can just maneuver so effectively here. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know Sweet goes out to the zone. Yes, look at Vengo. He is stunned up. He's still surviving though. He needs to stay up. He needs to be the home for CBA. Rengar is stuck in the front line. He will be able to get out to Black Eater. Pops Galina into the Death Realm and will be able to kill him 1v1. He's dominating Kiak going forward. And no Sweet flashes away. Kiak is on a killing spree. He is looking for more. So far, Orthrus Gaming find 2. And they are looking to bring the wave into the base.
Alright, looking like they're just going to be going for the final push here. 40 seconds left of Galina and Unknown Sweet's death timers. They're still going to be facing some beefy minions. Or never mind, they actually stopped, so they don't have any super minions anymore. This might be the push that OG needs.
Vanguard needs to be the god in this game right now if CBA want to win this. However, look at all the damage. I don't think they can do it. Orthrus Gaming, they're looking for an extra stab. Vanguard is just nuked to pieces. King and forced to stay in the base. The second Nexus Star falls, and Orthrus Gaming take down actually CBA.
Orthrus Gaming, I salute you. There is no other way to describe what just happened and how we should be reacting to it. He had an amazing performance on this Qiyana, proving to us that it needs to be a ban if you're not going to be picking that up because, damn, Garina couldn't step up to him in a silent. And even in the team fights, if you don't have any hard crowd control, it's just so difficult to lock her down that Kiach was left to roam freely. And I also have to throw out a big... not thank you, a big commendation to Rengar, who just soaked up so much damage as the Sejuani always was in the front line, always just finding these picks, and so it was a team effort. But man, I think CBA are going to be slightly salty after this one.
Yeah, they're not going to be too happy. Of course, they are technically playing without Paulson, but that was still a tough one, you know? We are talking how it was a comeback from OG, because they were behind in early game. But it's not like it was an insurmountable lead for both of these teams. The game was fairly close for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Orthrus Gaming, they just made a big statement.
Yeah, they made a huge statement. They are a new team, but they are here to stay. They have taken on, I think, one of the best teams that we have had here since the spring split in SQ1, and they're just looking to go for the playoffs. They haven't... a reminder, this is their second game that they've actually played.
It's week 5. We're not supposed to say the P word.
Hey, okay, you know, I gotta say it. But looking like they're gonna cement themselves at the top of the leaderboard. Are you happy with that one? So once again, this is their second game that they've played because they're a new team. Remember, we had some troubles with some teams leaving, so a lot of rescheduling happened. So right now, OG, they're still left with 4 matches. I think they have to play, perhaps even more.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're actually undefeated right now.
Are they? I think they lost one.
No,
I
they
don't
didn't.
even know. I don't even know. Well, anyways, thank
Did
you
they?
guys for joining.
Can someone correct me on that in the Twitch chat or in the
Yeah,
Discord?
we are going to correct you soon. However, we are going to
Okay.
go into the short pause because after the break we'll have another match casted by some other people. We'll see, but we'll see what will be played. But we will see you right back.